Yeah. Look out your window. Knicks fans is on your block. Y'all know the Knicks run the city. Pull them shades back. Look out your window. Look down there on the block. That's Knicks fans right there. It's about that time. It's about that time of the week where you get ready for your work week with the man that is so smooth he does not require a chaser. Your main man, the real, still the real Anthony D. And your main man, Jersey's finest, the hood representative, Uncle Freezy. Yo, what's good? Number one chief rocker in Knicks Universe, your main man, Uncle Freezy. I'm joined by the man that is so smooth he does not require a chaser. Still, the real Anthony D is in the building. What's good, boss?
That's still the most fire intro. What's going on?
Game.
Uncle Freezy.
Yeah,
it's been a minute, sir.
It's been a minute, man.
It's been a minute. We had to have a little vacation, little reprieve.
A little Father's Day in there. And earlier than that, it was anniversary. You know how it is.
A lot has happened in the world since the last time, you and I sat down. But before we even go any further, good morning.
Good morning.
Salute to Knick Nation.
Salute to Knicks Nation.
Thank y'all for joining me and Uncle Freezy on another Sunday and so forth. But yeah, a lot has been transpiring, a lot of chirping, a lot of this, a lot of that.
A lot of this, a lot of that, a lot of this, a lot of that.
The world is moving on. I wanna say salute, and rest in peace to icons that we've lost in that time. We lost the great Willie Mays. The say hey kid, and we lost the logo, Jerry West, who's gonna go down not only as one of the greatest ball players of all times, not only as probably top 2, top 3 front office people of all times.
Yeah.
Top 2, top 3. I know who's my 3, or in that rarefied space, and he definitely holds a seat there. But also, he's the logo.
He's the logo, bro. and he is the greatest combo guard to ever do it, bro.
He's the logo.
The greatest. Yeah, man. I don't care what people can say what they want to say, bro. But when it comes to combo guards, bro, there is none better than Jerry West, bro. None.
These guys, Jerry West, before my time, these are our dads and uncles and the people who we respected the game, and just for the love of the game, we paid enough respect to look up and to see, what the hype was about. I think he hit a shot. It's game 5 against the Knicks in that first championship run. He hits one from like 75 feet to take it to overtime.
And it was a 2-pointer at that.
It was a 2-pointer. It was today's game. They're up 3-2 or something like that, But he hits that shot.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly. I think we were like up. We were up like 3-1 or something. Was getting ready to wash them off the floor, and then it was in Los Angeles too. By the way, you know what I'm saying? It was in Los Angeles too. So it's like yeah.
Right. So man had a super career. Those are 2, icons. Giants. Like I've said on this airways before that baseball was like really like my thing. growing up. You know, it was baseball and boxing, but baseball more so because baseball had a team. You know, you needed you got to play with other people. You know, that's just how the game goes. You know, so baseball was like my thing. When you hear them older people talk about the great players, because my guy, or in my era, the two best players I think I've seen, Ricky Henderson, Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah.
Right, and Bonds. Excuse me, the three.
Right.
Those would be my three. But when you hear, you know, the older people talk of whatever, what? Better than Willie Mays?
We gotta relax.
better than the catch.
Yeah, we gotta relax.
That man got 660 home runs.
Yeah. And I think he had about 600 of them, like at a faster pace than anybody. But those last 2 years he spent in New York, you know, he was that's what I'm looking for, cruising.
Well,
because he was old. He was old. He was 40.
Yeah, you hate to remember, you know, and it happens to everybody, you know, because there's gonna be some people who are like, I remember when he wasn't shit with us.
Yeah.
He was 49 years old. All right,
49 years old.
Sorry, he needed a check. You know what it is. They signed him. He was an attraction. The Mets were the Mets at the time, and so forth.
And we needed him too, by the way.
Yeah, but there's like a picture of him or footage, and they should like delete this, where I think he's coming around third with the Mets, and he slides in, and he's out by like a mile, but he thinks he's safe, and he's like on his knees, kind of arguing, kind of thing, and it's like one of the worst lasting pictures of someone who was just, you know, talent beyond talent. You know, he wins a Gold Glove at age 37 as a center fielder.
Right. Yep.
You think about that?
Yeah.
At 37, they're ready to put you at first base.
Yep. I agree.
Right? Yeah. Or you would have been, especially in his day, there is no designated hitter.
No, he would have played 10 more.
Right? There is no designated hitter. So, and you probably had a first baseman that was worth something. So, you know what? He has to be something to still play at that level to get a Gold Glove at that age.
Yeah.
Salute. Rest in peace to the icons, you know, that we've lost and so forth. The games. They'll definitely, you know, miss you.
The game will, man. The game will never be the same, bro.
No, because you got those people who, for the same things but different sports, care, touch, patience.
Yeah,
those are the things that are needed for those jewels to like become great.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, look at some of the icons in either sport. Look at them like early and so forth. The first year or two, not everybody comes out and is Magic Johnson.
No.
Take some time. You know, in his day, Willie's the last of the Negro Leaguers. He's the last of that era to join Major League Baseball.
Right. Yeah.
See what I'm saying? But he was already a professional.
Already, bro. Already.
You know, but you'd have needed someone, you know, to see what young guys have and what young guys can become if you just give them a little time and patience. But the era and stuff like that is different. There was no free agency. You had the what is that? The what's that name of that clause rule they had in baseball?
Oh,
signs where basically says you don't gotta play. You don't gotta play if you don't want to play.
Yeah.
Or the reserve rights, something where the owners had a reserve rights. Basically, is like, no, ain't no free agency. We decide we want to give you some more money. We'll give you some more money when we feel like it.
If we feel like it, bro.
Okay?
Yeah.
Right.
If
Shout out to Kurt Flood.
Yeah, and the thing that people don't realize too is Kurt Flood actually lost his case.
Yes.
He actually lost. But what happened is the precedents in that case
never played again.
Yeah. They did him wrong. They did Kurt Flood wrong, and then he actually came back later after sitting out a year. But Kurt Flood had personal issues too, like addictions and stuff. Remember, he left and went to England and all time. Man, Kurt Flood. Kurt Flood was an excellent player, so I don't want to sully his name.
He was an all-star at that time. And I believe he was making for the contracts. He was like in the top tier or whatever.
Yeah.
For center fielders or lefty, like I don't want to mistake his position, but he was just like, I don't want to be traded. Yeah. I don't go there. I want some more money.
Yep.
This isn't good enough.
Yep. Especially when Don Drysdale and Sandy Koufax had hired Hollywood agents. And sports didn't have Hollywood agents back then. They just basically negotiated on behalf of themselves. Like, hey, boss, how much you want to give me? No, boss, I had a good year last year. You should pay me more. Okay, I'll give you $1,000 more.
Because most of these dudes had regular jobs in the off season,
jobs, bro.
Jobs. Like you may go into the Woolworths and see your favorite pitcher. You know what I'm saying? In the what is that? Selling housewares.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what my uncle told me, right? So shout out to J Boogie in the building, Angel Torres, DSJ, Khaled Pasha is in the building, Dripmore, salute, the son of the legend, Kerry Cox is in the building, Just Knicks is in the building, Bronx Kicks for life, Wiz, I see you, Danny Landis is in the building, Coach, salute, man, what's good, y'all? With AD, my man said, this is my uncle. My uncle, he about 90, or he about 90 years old, right? He said, man, I was at my woman's house and it was a bam at the door. And he lived in Detroit, right? He lived in Detroit. He's like, I was at my woman's house and there was a bam at the door. And I walk out there, and it was the damn Detroit Tigers selling insurance. AD, that shit was so funny, bro. He was like, they had to get a job in the off season.
That's real talk.
Yeah, because they had to get something to pay.
Real talk. You had to get something to pay bills, and you had to watch. You had to watch your mouth. Because with Flood. Once Flood takes that stance and it becomes a national story, he's done for. Yeah. And that's just
collusion. They colluded. Yeah.
This is where baseball this is like the real foundation of the strength of the baseball union. Yeah. Which they never gave back.
Yeah.
Like after that,
I don't blame them either.
No, after that, they just became, Marvin Miller, is the beginnings of that. And as it goes on and on, the baseball union ain't football and baseball and basketball. Yeah. Nah. There's levels to this. Look at the contracts.
Yeah. But the reason why is because the owners had did them so dirty for so long.
Yeah.
That they was like, man, we ain't never going back to that.
No.
Ever.
Once they were able, what is it now, moving forward to 87, when they basically, is it 87 or 87? Right. When did
so it was 86 but they colluded. Remember the free agent thing?
Right. Is it 87 where the whole
87? They all colluded together.
right? It's 87, right?
88, they sued. Remember, they sued, and it was like one step at a time, right? So yeah.
Sue and everyone, because everybody was, because I remember Dawson, the Hawk with Montreal, was a free agent.
Was a free agent,
and they were giving him pennies on the dollar.
Nobody would pay him. And
they were giving him pennies on the dollar. And I can't remember who the reporter was, but he was like, if this isn't collusion, like Andre Dawson. Andre Dawson's like one of the best top 10 baseball players at the time.
And all the stuff he was saying was real. He was like, yo, y'all need to tear up this turf. This turf is tearing up our knees. Remember that? They were like, oh, you crybaby, you got to gut through it. Yeah, right. The owners don't have money to put down something that grows naturally.
No, early turf. Oh my God.
Yeah.
This is bad now, but early turf.
Oh,
the Astrodome and up in Toronto and
Cincinnati,
where the Expos played in Cincinnati,
Philadelphia.
Dear God. I've heard players, speak, that they're faster on turf and whatever, but turf is you basically on cement.
You on cement, bro.
Getting hit by superior athletes.
Yeah. And then if you're an outdoor stadium in the South, like the Dallas Cowboys, why are you on AstroTurf? The grass is gonna grow natural, bro.
Yeah.
Andios is in the building. David Smith was good. I see you. Absolutely. The rock in the shoe that I want to, because I want to continue on with this, but the rock in the shoe I want to do is I need y'all to stop telling me about Sade. Right? I need for y'all to stop telling me about Sade, man. Sade is
I don't know why
is a 2-hit wonder, and
that's
bro,
not true. That is so disrespectful.
AD
that is so disrespectful.
She's a 2-hit wonder.
Oh my God.
If we're not talking about Anita Baker, bro, I don't want to hear it, bro.
But now you
Cat's trying to talk.
You're throwing the grenade, and then you're saying, well, take back the grenade because I don't want to hear. I mean, those are like we're two different conversations. We're not even. Let's deal with one at a time. And
Anita Baker is great.
Anita Baker is
fantastic.
Off the charts. Sade is off the charts, and I've seen them both in concert. Sade, I saw that woman in New Jersey, in your home state, in 2009? Right. That woman came up out of the stage, a la Michael Jackson, in this red dress from Lord. I tried to videotape her. This is the early videotape camera shit. I tried to videotape. The flip phone, crazy.
It might have been the slide phone. Remember the slide phone?
Oh my God, Freezy, what are you talking about? Sade is absolutely she's meant for Sunday. Put on Church Today right now.
No.
And watch Miss Mocha come. Watch her hands come right across your head, the top of your head. Put that on right now. Now.
Mo Caribbean also. She already know the vibe. She already know the vibe, bro.
Sade? Freezy?
AD, what are we talking about, bro?
She brought a style of crooning that you didn't need to find upper registries and do things with your voice because of you came out of the church, and so many of our superstars, that's kind of like the thing. It's like to show the power in the throat, right? Like I can sing all day.
Okay.
Not everybody has those gifts. And when she kind of came around with the, kind of like rock him, and so to speak, with I'm gonna sing the way I speak, and I'm gonna stay in that pocket, and with some wicked instrumentals, it's over. You drop Taboo on right now. Cherish the day. What are we talking about, Freezy? No, that's utterly disrespectful. Chad, say something.
I don't know what AD talking about.
King Maybe says what? AD is trolling. Oh, that's fine. I can troll Sade. That's fine. That's fine. I saw that woman. I've seen Anita Baker in concert live as well.
Best performer I've ever seen live, bro.
She was just underrated live.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about her now, because I hate I saw her now, I've seen the artist now. I'm like, that's 75 years old. They're 80 years old. Can we relax?
Yeah, she's 99 years old, man.
Yeah, can we relax? But in her prime,
bro, I saw her, and I think I'm gonna say me and Mo were together. If it wasn't me and Mo, sorry. So we were we saw Anita Baker. Right?
Oh my god!
And we were like at a place, House of Blues, right? And so Anita Baker legit saw the drinks, like the couples had ordered their drinks. Anita Baker walked off the stage, bro. This Anita Baker did this. AD, she was like, oh, y'all got drinks over there? Hold on. Put out her Newport, walked off the stage, went and grabbed one of their drinks and was talking to them while the band was still playing Angel. Right? While the band was still playing Angel, she in the crowd, the house light trying to find her and stuff. So the house light find her. She at the table, she drinking, and the man is looking like, oh my God, it's you. And the woman is like, girl, we paid $50 for these. You better sign. This is the look on her face, right? Mm-hmm. She drinks the drink and walks back on stage. And when it gets to her part, she like trying to hit the lighter. The lighter won't work. The dude come over. She got the cigarette, right? He liked the cigarette for her, right? He liked the cigarette for her. She takes a drag, and right on cue is right back at the chorus. Bro, I'm telling you, bro. These artists, bro, there is nothing like
showmanship.
Yeah, this stuff
because that record, especially a record like that, because it has so many hills and valleys.
Yes,
right.
And all the background singers was doing that for her.
So you can so when you choreograph in a show, you can play with that record. It also gives the entertainer time to catch her breath, come back, go in the audience, get a little audience participation while the music is still playing, the band is still moving, her background people are still and they still do it, and they still, they still keep the tempo, and she's acting like she fumbled. I'm not even there, but I can just see the scene. She's acting like she's fumbling with this.
With the lighter won't come on. The dude walk over, put the horn down. He stand the horn up on the stage.
Right. And everything is in timing.
Yep.
Everything is on cue.
And as a patron, you're like, oh, this shit is amazing. You know what I'm saying?
No, she's absolute, devastatingly. I saw her in Radio City Music Hall in 1996. And that's when her children were young. Because I remember she had brought them out on stage. Yeah. Because my Anita Baker record is, besides Angel is like number 2, but it's Been So Long. And when she sung Been So Long look, it's me and my woman right there. She is fine as she wanna be, right? I didn't even know that she was here anymore.
Right.
It was like some invisible force field.
Right.
It was like, here anymore.
It happened to us too. It happened when I took a chick to see Albie Shaw one time, and I turned invisible. That's how I
That's the
know.
chances. And the closer you're sitting,
Yeah.
it's the worse it's gonna get.
Yep.
And you already know that. So this is a conversation you should have with your person before you go out. Okay? Look, I got really good seats for your birthday. Okay?
Right.
I don't want this to turn into something other than a celebration, because I'll be damned if you about to come down at sweaty whatever and think you about to take my woman. Okay? There's some furniture and shit that's gonna start moving up in there. Okay? So we should have this conversation long before. That being said, if Anita Baker had said crazy, I'd have been
Right. You'd have been gone.
I'd have been gone. Absolutely gone.
Right.
That's how fine that woman. That's how devastatingly fine and effective her performance was that night.
Right. Right. Right.
And I know, Knick fans, we done started off the show as no as.
I had to throw that rock in AD shoe though. I had to throw the rock in AD shoe about
I
Sade.
love them both. You offend me and make me happy all at the same time. I said, I don't know why you would do that. We supposed to be friends.
Bro, Anita Baker is different, bro. I remember seeing her there was hairstyles out, right? I don't and this and I know this is away from the next topic, but we're setting a background for the old school setting so that we can get back into the Knicks talk, right? But there was this hairdo, a hairstyle called a Jerry curl that was out. And women and men during that time, like 83, 84, 85, you couldn't walk a city block without seeing 10 Jerry curls, right? But in 85, 86, Anita
Don't
Baker
get your soul glow.
soul glow, right? So, but there was a poster of Anita Baker that went around in the city. I think WBLS was giving out these posters of Anita Baker, like it was the black and white poster. And Anita Baker had this haircut where it was like layered, like long on one side and short on the other side.
Yes.
And before you know it, everybody and their mama got rid of that Jerry curl and had a haircut.
It was like the
Baker.
end. It was like the sudden end of the curl.
Right.
That was it. That was it. And because women, especially back then, another woman ain't giving another woman a compliment.
No.
It's like, yo, I was thinking this hairstyle too. I just didn't know you. Like everybody literally.
Yep. Knowing good and well they went in the salon, asked for that. Hey, let me get that Anita Baker. They probably had the Anita Baker poster on the wall.
No, but that's how trends become.
That's how
become a trend.
Yeah. Yeah. So AD, what are we gonna do, man, with these Knicks, bro?
It's not as dire as the conversation that you and I had like 2 days ago. Because remember, you and I, we had a conversation that was like, yo, for real, AD, like this could get ugly. And I got off the phone, I thought about it for the last, and what we're talking about was the possibility of the Knicks not re-signing OG. That was like the principal point of the conversation. And, where do we go from there? And we were throwing back a couple of names and so forth, and plus, and I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? I would have to think that there is a plan should someone comes in and just knocks the Knicks off and he's willing to go with them. Because you wouldn't give out that kind of capital for someone without thinking, well, what if? So it kind of made me just step back a little bit, saying, all right, there would have to be some type of plan. They couldn't be this, we're just going to push majority of our capital or some of our really talented young pieces for a guy who's not going to stay.
Right.
So that made me just kind of like pump the brakes a little bit. So, all right, let's patience. Let's see. There has to be something other than that. But besides that, I believe they're signing Hartenstein, as they should.
Yeah.
And you and I, we're not going to turn into this ugly argument over this Hartenstein thing here today, because I'm ready, willing, and prepared to, if that's what's needed. But
Talking about for Chris Dudley?
yeah, whatever.
What are you
He's
talking
gonna get his money. He's gonna get a nice contract. We're gonna bring him back, and we're gonna go from there. And hopefully, we'll bring him back. OG. Basically, what I've been saying. Hopefully, we can bring the band back,
right?
Or majority of it, and a tinker here and a tinker there. Here a tinker, there a tinker, everywhere.
Yeah. This sounds very 90s Knicks.
No.
Yes.
The 90s Knicks didn't have a 2-time All-NBA team on All-NBA player on the mend to come back to the fold.
Oh, Pat Ewing was never injured?
Pat Ewing was always pretty much always there, except for 99.
Oh, you mean 2 all-star level players?
Yeah. They never had 2 of the same at the same time. No.
Yeah.
So it's a whole nother different situation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we can legit say Randall's all those things, plus he's under the age of 30.
Right.
So he's also capital.
Okay.
They never had that. For as much as we romanticize those eras, they never had that kind of luxury. Again, which is another reason why it make me pump the brakes when I thought about it. I'm like, hold on. We still have Randall under contract for another 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, it would look really ugly, right? For them to lose OG, knowing that they traded Quickly and Barrett for such a piece.
And Ryan Arcidiacono. No.
He wasn't. And Archie.
Yeah, no. Ryan was in the. Was he in the Detroit trade? I think he was in.
Let's just put him in just for argument's sake. Let's put him for argument's sake. It would look crazy, and I'm one of the first. Like I said, there's the conversation that we started with off the air, but it made me just hold back a second. I'm like, the cabinet wouldn't be empty, and they would have to be something else to come along with what you already have.
Right.
The 90s Knicks didn't have that. If Ewing fell, the season was tanked. The season was done. Evidence in 98. He gets hurt. The season is basically over.
Yeah, this feels like the 90s to me, bro.
The 90s team would have never been able to keep moving with one major player hurt, let alone 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Think about that. They've never had Ewing and Starks and Harper at the same time hurt.
Yeah, but we're saying that we're assuming that all of our best players were hurt at one time. Nah, what I'm saying is Xavier McDaniel should have been re-signed, right? And I think we win a championship. And it kind of gives me the OG Anunoby vibe right now, right? Like the because here's the thing: if you re-sign Xavier McDaniel, just give him the money, right? 3 years. What was he asking? 3 years, like $15 million or something. Which it was a lot of money back then. It wasn't Pat Ewing money, but it was a lot of money for a secondary guy, right? Give him the money, right? Then you don't have to trade for Charles Smith later on.
We love to romanticize that, Freezy, and you know, nobody was a bigger X guy than myself. Okay.
He's
The
the
truth
man, bro.
is, his knees were washed. His knees were washed. If you just look at it statistically from that season, right? I think the Knicks won the Atlantic that year, or maybe they lost to Boston in the end of the year, something. But look at his numbers throughout the year. They were like this. He was never consistent throughout the year. The ex-player that we saw, that we thought we were getting from Seattle,
Yeah.
didn't arrive until the playoffs.
AD, what I'm saying, man, you got to give him that 1 year to get
But
used to a new system.
but his knees were. I wasn't gonna give him 3 years. No, his knees were washed. That's just facts. His knees were washed. You can't argue that. If you want to say you want to bring him on, I've heard him talk about this on other podcasts that he wanted to come back, and the Knicks were kind of like, yeah, they were kind of like, because they were looking for a better consistent scoring option.
So they let him walk, and then later bring in Charles Smith.
They let him walk, thinking, okay, all right, let's back up 2 seconds. They got him on hold, kind of, sort of, because they know they're working on this Charles Smith situation here. It's kind of like, go see if you can get a deal and come back to us if you don't. The Knicks never called him back because within like a short period of time, you're hearing it. They literally made like 2 blockbusters, which is the Charles Smith. Then they trade for Blackman. Then they trade with the Lakers for Campbell. They did like 3 trades within a small period of time, if memory serves me correctly. They had remember, Tony Campbell was supposed to be
the future,
a force. He was supposed to be like a real offensive force with the Knicks.
Yeah, but he wasn't. Yeah.
Don't get me started on Blackman.
Yeah, Blackman was washed. And Rolando Blackman, you know, I have the utmost respect for NBA players except Derek Harper and Rolando Blackman. Right? And yo, I legit have respect for professional athletes, but I saw Derek Harper and Rolando Blackman as a starting backcourt in Dallas choke away playoff games.
They didn't choke away playoffs.
And then, bro, we saw that. Remember the Portland series? These dudes are up like 17 points in the third quarter. All they got to do is keep doing what they doing, and they get into bro. Derek, man.
Blackman was a perennial all-star, Freezy. So the thing is, I understood what the Knicks were thinking at the time was let's get as many good offensive, tough-minded players in here to go up against Chicago because
so they go get Rolando Blackman.
Remember, Rolando Blackman is an 8-year All-Star. He's an 8-time All-Star. I think 2-time All-NBA
point guard. So I'm gonna go get Tyrese Halliburton.
Dude, look at Will Blackman's numbers. Come on now.
It was a
Come on now.
Bro, it was a system. The system.
No, Will Blackman was always Will since he was in New York.
Was that man ever double teamed in Dallas?
He didn't really have. Well, come on, Freezy. Now we're gonna turn this into a. Come on.
Did he ever have to carry a load?
Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely. The team that you remember, Freezy, is a culmination of teams that they were kind of tinkering with.
No.
Because remember, early they got, oh my God, I know this Dallas team well, Freezy, and you're making a couple of serious errors.
No, I'm telling you,
you're making a couple of errors here.
No, the person carrying the scoring load in Dallas was a guy named Mark Aguirre. And if you tell me that Rolando Blackman was a better player than Mark Aguirre, I just got to end it right here, bro. I got to.
I'm not gonna tell you that.
You're
But
gonna tell me that man on a team that had
Blackman was a hell of a player.
Bro, when we got him, he was 33 years old.
Yes. But
he
to
was
the
a
point,
33-year-old guy that had been choking in the playoffs. You're telling me on a team that had him, Dale Ellis, Detlef Schrempf, Derek Harper, Roy Tarpley, and Mark Aguirre, that
they were
Rolando
not better.
Blackman
They were not better than the Lakers. And they lost to the Lakers in Game 7. It was in 88 or 89, something to that effect. They were not better than the Lakers.
No, in 88, they had already in one of those years.
They were
had,
not better than the Lakers. I remember them vividly losing to the Lakers.
They had Adrian Dantley in one of those years that you're talking about. They didn't have Mark Aguirre.
Right. Okay. Right. Because they flip flop. Right. But it was still the same thing because Aguirre couldn't get them over when they had Aguirre. They couldn't get over it either way.
Right. But I'm saying but Adrian Dantley and Mark Aguirre were two different type of scorers. Where Mark Aguirre was a slasher, pull up shooter, can score from anywhere. Adrian Dantley was more of an ISO player, pump fake, jab step, get to the free throw line type scorer. It's like Mark Aguirre was a early Melo type scorer, and Adrian Dantley was the old version of Melo type scorer. If people can, if everybody can understand what I'm getting at, right?
Yes.
What I'm saying is with Rolando Blackman, he never had to carry the load, right? He never had to. So when I hear him talk greasy about Pat Riley sticking with Starks, bro, Starks was an all-star that year. And Starks was the reason why we won. Yo, bro, Starks had a shot in the air in Game 6 to win the championship.
Yeah,
Freezy, if Olajuwon doesn't peel off of Pat Ewing to go to Starks,
Freezy, look at his numbers. Look at his career numbers against Houston. He used to kill Houston.
Okay,
it's facts.
Okay,
right? And even if you don't want to do that, I don't know why you always take us back here, but fine. The man is having an all-time bad game in the biggest game of everybody's career except for Riley.
Right.
See, it's fine for Riley to be like that. He's got 5 championships with LA.
Right. I understand that. I'm not disputing. That's not the part that I'm disputing.
But right. you act as if that Rolando Blackman, who was a multi-time all-star in this league, as far as careers go, John Starks does not have a career like Rolando Blackman. Let's just be clear.
Okay.
I love Starks. Rolando Blackman is a multi-time, like he doesn't have that. And if Rolando Blackman says or feels like he can feel some type of way, the man went 2 for 18. You're going to tell me that you couldn't possibly take him out, give him a breather, try, if not Blackman, then somebody else, anybody, pick somebody.
Are we blaming Starks for having a bad Game 7?
No, it can happen. It can happen. I've seen Larry Bird get swept out the playoffs.
Yeah,
I've seen it can happen. But your coach's job is to be able to have his hand on the button to make a pivotal move. I'm watching here this morning. Hold that point, Freezy, right? Lakers Celtics, and they're talking about when they got Wilt. And it's Russell's last year, so this is 69, right? Game 7, you see Wilt hobbling off the court. Something happened, like he pulled a little something happened, right?
Yeah.
Wilt hobbles off the court, and the coach, who's Van Brademar, for whatever F his name is, right?
Right.
He is like in amazement. What are you doing? But
you're not dead. Why are you not playing?
But here's the thing: you don't know what's in the athlete's body and so forth. So maybe he needs a second, right?
Right.
Wilt then tells him, because they don't talk to each other. There's intermediaries, right? So Wilt tells his intermediary, tell the man I'm ready to get back in.
Right.
The coach tells the intermediary, says, you know what? Tell him F him. We don't need him.
Right.
This is Game 7. with less than 2 minutes to go, you have arguably one of top 3 greatest ball players ever who says he's ready to get back into the game. You're some whoever that we don't know, lucky to have this damn job, and you're gonna say F him? We don't need him?
Right.
That's not coaching, Freezy.
I understand that. And I agree with you. And you never saw that man coach anywhere else ever again. Right. I agree with you on that. And part of the thing, to Wilt's credit, Wilt Chamberlain is the man that averaged a chat in a season. Wilt Chamberlain, his average minutes one season was 48.3 minutes a game. That man played 48.3 minutes a game. That's impossible. Okay. That's impossible, right? Nah, because Wilt Chamberlain played every minute of every game, including overtime. Right? Every minute of every game, including overtime that year. Right? And this guy is saying that Wilt Chamberlain was soft. Yeah, I can't even believe that dude didn't keep Wilt in the game. But since AD gone, I want to sneak and talk to y'all about something real quick. Since AD is taking a break, I'm gonna sneak and talk about something real quick. Nick G in the building. How do y'all feel about the Knicks making a major trade for a player? How do y'all feel about the Knicks not disrupting the apple cart, not moving Randall, not moving Brunson, not moving any of the Nova boys, not moving Ryan Arcidiacono, right? Fritz Alcindor was good, right? How do y'all feel about the Knicks making a major trade? Because I think AD wants to run it back and be like the 90s Knicks. And so at the end of this decade, he can be like, man, we was almost there, man. If it was. How do y'all feel about the Knicks maybe going out and making a trade for a young star? Oh, there's AD right there. Hey, boss, what's good with you?
You see how you do me? You see how you do me?
I just changed the subject a little bit while you were going.
Absolutely. Well, go ahead, Breezy. Tell us why you don't.
No. The Wilt thing. How does that man play 48.3 minutes a game, and you call him soft when that man played every second of every game for an entire season, and the one time he get hurt, you gonna say you ain't dead, you should be playing?
Because what the coach should never do, Freezy, okay? And I don't care what anyone will say, oh, you never coach, but I done been around it long enough to know this. Once you make it personal, okay? Once it's a personal thing, like you just don't like me because of me, right? You've already lost.
Yep.
I heard Ray John Rondo tell a story about his time with Dallas.
Yeah.
With who's the coach there at the time who's not coaching
Rick Carlisle.
He said they was on a phone conference with Donnie Nelson, Carlisle, and whatever. And they were like, look, Carlisle doesn't want to play you. So we're going to say you got a bad back. Stay where you are.
Right.
And he was like, cool. Next thing you know, he hangs up the phone. He's seen ESPN. The team is taking a vote. They're not going to pay him for the playoff shares and da-da-da-da. But he's like, what? Hold on. You told me to stay home.
Right.
See? This is Ray John Rondo.
Right.
Multi-time champion.
I think he's a Hall of Fame point guard, by the way.
Absolutely.
That's my opinion.
Right? But it had now gotten personal, which is now in front of the team's success. Why? Because Rick Carlisle just don't want to deal with it.
Right. Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Sometimes the coach can be loggerheaded.
Yeah.
I see this. I say this all the time when I hear Greg Popovich's name comes up as great this or great that. when they were playing Miami in that first time, they're up 5 with 26 seconds to go. Okay? The man has Tim Duncan, who at that time was no longer Tim Duncan, but the stats will bear it out. When he takes Tim Duncan out, I think Tim Duncan had 17 rebounds in the game.
Yep.
When Chris Bosh gets that rebound to then turn and hits Ray Allen, you can take a look at the picture. There's nobody taller than 6'3" in that picture.
Yep.
While your best rebounder, your Hall of Famer, your top 10, 15 player, whatever, is sitting on the bench. Yep. I could have done that. You could have done that.
Yeah.
No one ever asked him about that. When they talk about, pop my ass. Pop and pop and pop. I remember him. That's why I would never bet on any of these games when the money's really on the line. Because there's some things that some of these coaches will do. You have to be like, what? Explain that matchup. And to Chris Bosh, it looks like he makes a hell of a rebound.
Right.
He made the rebound of a Tony Parker and 2 other sub 6'2" guys, sub 6'3" guys.
Yeah, he got a rebound over Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike for sure.
Yes. Might have been Ricky Bobby. Come on. Some of these things you just can't make it up. So to the Riley point, and Blackman, does he not have a point? Does he not have a legitimate beef? Absolutely.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he's Greg Anthony talking.
Right.
Some man is a borderline Hall of Famer if he's not a Hall of Fame already.
Who?
Is Blackman in the Hall of Fame? Borderline Hall of Fame.
In what Hall of Fame?
Look at his numbers. Pull up his numbers.
I'm not looking at Rolando Blackman nothing. He lucky the Knicks gave him a jersey when he was washed at 33 years old. Okay. Bro, and I'm not saying that as an ungrateful sports fan.
Yes, you are.
I'm saying that as a lifelong day one Knicks fan that love the Knicks more than I love other stuff. Like when you walk away from the Knicks and talk shit, you on my hit list.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why when you try to talk to me about Oakley, I don't want to hear nothing about no Oakley, bro. Because I love the Knicks, man. I love the Knicks. And am I going to be lemon drops? Am I going to be bitter brother when somebody talk trash about the Knicks? Yes. Sorry, I'm a Knicks fan, bro.
Hey, I get it. And yes, Nick G, salute. Absolutely. Some of these guys, they just live off reputation. They live off of the names, and you can't call them out because of the reputation, what they've built. There was no bigger fan of Pat Riley when he was here. Okay?
Right, me too.
Way too many times since he's been gone 30 years or close to it. We act like somehow, some way he was here longer than what he was.
Yeah.
As in like he made no mistakes in no time and we should have never let him go and all of that. I get all of that. Get all of that. But within that, there's nuances. See, there's things that people done wrong. He did wrong. Playing Anthony Bonner more minutes than he needed to. I was a fan of Anthony Bonner as a hustle and hard work and the play. Well, Anthony Bonner might have been the worst offensive forward in that era.
Hey, so let's clarify. Like, so for those that don't know who Anthony Bonner is, think about a 6'8" muscle bound Josh Hart. Right?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Stop it. Stop it.
Except Bonner had elite handles for a power forward, bro. He had, I mean, elite handles for a power forward.
Bonner's the worst offensive forward of that generation.
How's Josh Hart look to you offensively?
Yeah, I don't see him have a whole bunch of triple doubles and a whole bunch of shots that Bonner could never hit. No, not even if he was under the rim by himself.
You're right.
Nowhere near as effective as a ball player. Bonner gave you nothing offensively.
But he could rebound and push the ball, bro. He was a rebound transition forward. You
already had Mason, your favorite Oakley, Charles Smith.
Wait. Hold.
We already had guys.
We talking about rebounding transitions. And Oakley wasn't that. Oakley was a rebounding center, rim protector, kinda. Oakley wasn't grabbing no ball and dribbling.
You already had Mason for that. Yeah. If that's the point for that, Bonner was just like having an extra knife at the dinner table that you never use. You know what I'm saying? You ever go to them fancy smanchies?
Yeah.
And they got the this and the four, and you gotta pull the right one at the right time, only to wait till everybody to be like, all right, watch what I do when your eyes turn.
Yeah, but the red they supposed to reset your table though. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to use your salad and your salad spoon, and people don't know about this type of. But they supposed to reset. Like when you finish your salad, they take all your salad stuff with you.
That was my job as an early busboy. I used to come back and clear and reset.
Clear and reset. Yeah, I used
clear
to
and reset.
Yeah,
Rel, salute.
Rel is in the building. Rel said Rolando Blackman should be a. Thank you. There is no way Rolando Blackman should be a Hall of Famer, Rel. You got to stop, bro. That man averaged 20 points a game 3 times. And that man played in the league 52 years. And he played
20 points meant something.
Huh?
When he played 20 points a game meant something. Today, no. When he played 20 points a game, literally meant something.
Rolando Blackman is not a top 50 all-time shooting guard, bro. He's not even top 50 in my mind. And I'm being nice. I'm being generous. I want to give love to the 80s. Wow. Rolando Blackman is a.
I think your personal bias as a.
Is he better
as a youth? What? But who?
Is he better than Mitch Richmond?
No.
Is he better than Reggie Miller?
No.
Is he better than Michael? Come on, bro. Really? Do we have to go down the list? Is he better than Dale Ellis? No.
Yes.
No. Hey, no. Hey, they don't do that.
Dale is a better distance shooter than him. But I'd take Rolando. That's Bronx, NY. What? No, he's from Brooklyn. What am I talking about? It's NYC. I ain't taking none of them cats over. What? None of them. I ain't taking none of them over him. Gotta have some respect. Gotta have some respect for home team. Ain't taking none of them over him.
Come on, bro.
For Jordan too. I ain't taking none of them over. None of them.
Man, come on.
This is not. But that's not the argument, Freezy. That's not the argument. The argument was the decisions. And I get it. You want to dance with the girl that you brought to the prom, but what if the girl's feet is hurting?
Bro, he was an all-star that season, bro. What are we talking
about? But he was having the worst game at the worst possible time, Freezy. You see that's just my point. I'm a glutton for punishment. So every now and again, I'll go back and I'll rewatch that game 7 just to kind of confirm what I knew I had already seen, right? And every time as I'm watching the pace of the game, and you could see him getting frustrated. And at no point did the Knicks have the lead. Maybe they led it 2-0 or something like that, but they really never had the lead in game 7. I think the closest they got was 5. And Oakley makes an errant pass, which he was prone to do, and then the lead just goes back up to like 9 or something, 9 or 11, and they never got that. They never
stays
got
between 6 and 9
again.
the entire game.
Right.
Between 6 and the entire game. We can't get any closer, but they can't blow us out.
Exactly. And it was like, we're talking about, if nothing else, Freezy, the man could hit a jumper. If nothing else, Ro Blackman could hit a jumper in his sleep, Freezy. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying bench Starks and banish him for the game. I'm saying give him a moment to collect himself, because the game was, we were losing the game. Evidence is we lost the game.
But AD, what I'm telling you is that Dallas probably should have traded Rolando Blackman to Seattle instead of Dale Ellis. That's what I'm saying. Because Dale Ellis left and averaged 26 points a game in that same era where Rolando Blackman averaged 21 points a game. You remember Lethal Weapon? You remember Lethal Weapon?
Yes.
Tom Chambers, Xavier McDaniel, and Dale Ellis?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. In that same era, Dale Ellis, I'm looking at the numbers right now.
It took Dale a few
87.
26. It took him a few years to get to the Dale Ellis that you're speaking about.
Because he was Rolando Blackman's backup.
Oh, because he wasn't as good. Because Ro Blackman was putting up numbers.
No,
you don't just bring in some kid. You don't just bring in some kid that maybe whatever. And they didn't just. The Lakers didn't just say, "Well, we're just going to get rid of Norm Nixon for whoever." They got rid of him for Byron Scott, and it still took him some time to get to that position. Like you're very biased on Ro Blackman here, and you're missing the point. You're really missing the point. The point is not him as the player. The point is him as the coach. Riley as the coach, as in making the right maneuver at the right time and letting Starks go the way he was going. There's a timeout during that game, in that fourth quarter, where they all are there, and Starks is standing like right next to Oakley, and he's doubled over, right on his knees. He's doubled over. You see Charles, kind of his left hand is like patting him on the ribcage, like, "All right, baby, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right," giving him some encouragement. Why? He's spent right there. He needed a moment. Why do we always come back to this point? I don't understand you, Freezy. You're a glutton for punishment. I don't know why. Why do we always come back to this point?
Because I love John Starks.
Freezy, I'm gonna be honest with you, Freezy. Okay, it's never gonna be what you think it was meant to be. He's never gonna not go 2 for 18, because that's just the reality. It's the facts of it.
I love John Starks, bro.
I know, but in your love, you're delirious. You're blinded by it. I don't love John any less. The heart, the embracing the city, the mentality, but it doesn't mean that that you're going to tell me that he wasn't having the worst game of his career.
Shooting, defensively, he was on point.
Nobody cares about defense right now.
Well, clearly, because you mentioned Rolando Blackman, and Rolando Blackman and Derek Harper in a backcourt would have got roasted.
The way Ewing was playing defensively, roaming wise, whatever, it wouldn't even matter.
I understand.
Because we needed a bucket.
But why would you put an extra load on Pat Ewing when you know we needed extra buckets?
Because we needed a bucket. And we needed somebody that could hit a jump shot.
Right.
More than anything else, we needed somebody that can hit a jump shot, Freezy.
If it wasn't for Derek Harper's whack defense earlier in the series,
yes,
there wouldn't even been a game 7, bro.
I 100% agree with you.
And Kenny Smith wide open at the top of the key. And there was one play where they ran a screen for Kenny Smith on the wing, and I think Charles Smith rotated over to get Kenny Smith, and Derek Harper looked Robert Ory dead in the eyes, and Robert Ory hit a dagger three looking at Derek Harper.
Yes.
And you're like, what are we doing out here?
I don't disagree with you, Freezy,
And
at all.
yet we blame Starks for Game 7.
Because
There
Game
is
7,
no
because Game 7 is what Game 7 is. When you get to Game 7, Freezy, right? As I told you, I was watching this morning. I've been into watching Celtics Lakers, my rivals, whatever the name of it is.
Right.
Game 7 in '84 in old Boston Garden is like 120 degrees.
Yep.
There's no ACs. There's no fans. Referees are fainting.
Yep.
Look at Larry Bird's numbers in Game 7. 32 and 17, I think.
Yep.
When everybody is dying and McAdoo's on the bench with the mask on his face and the water and doing all fanning and whatever. Look at Larry Bird's numbers as the temperature is getting hotter. He is getting cooler.
Yes.
It doesn't matter, Freezy.
I understand.
What happened 1 through 6 no longer matters. It's here. It's Game 7.
Do or die.
This is what we're gonna do or die. This is why we're still talking about this 30 years later. We should have, you know what? We should have really punished the people today. We should have actually watched the game. I should have rewatched the game. No, we can never do that. We love y'all too much. Y'all have to do what I do in your moments by yourself when you cry and you think about 94 and rewatch it.
And drink mimosas.
And drink mimosas and act like it didn't happen and wow. And it just wasn't meant to be.
With that said, with all that stuff said about Game 7, right? You said it's do or die, right?
Yes.
Right. Big time players step up in big time moments, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So why are we trying to pay Hartenstein $40 million a year?
Because we're not just paying him. Hartenstein is not a big time player in that conversation. When you say big time player, I'm thinking.
But you just
Ewing.
said Rolando Blackman could have.
I'm thinking Ewing, because Rolando Blackman, his skill set, he can hit a jump shot. He can hit a jump shot. That's what he did. That's what he did for the major part of his career.
No disrespect to my guy AD. AD is my brother. Y'all know I love AD like a brother, right? When I come to the city, it's drinks on me. Good drinks on me. If AD
remember he said that, ladies and gentlemen.
If AD go in his pocket, we gonna fall out, right?
Okay.
But here's my thing. I think there's a clear double standard, bro. Like the Starks and Rolando Blackman conversation, you can be on either side, and you know who's to say who's right or who's wrong, right? But Isaiah Hartenstein, with multiple players out injured, right, and us just needing a basket, any basket, any point, right? That man scored 0 points in the Game 7 on his home court, and he was the starter. And Knicks fans are saying, give that man the bag, right? And I'm saying give him the bag, but give him the pack bag. And I'm playing Ray Charles on his way out the door.
It was a rainy night. Rainy night in Georgia.
Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. No, right? Because here's the thing. Here's my thing. Right? When we have these Game 7 clutch moment conversations, we crucify Starks about his Game 7. And Hartenstein played the entire game, 30 minutes. With Josh Hart hurt, OG hurt, Randall hurt, Mitch hurt, Bogey hurt, all these people out. And all we needed was the supposed offensive center to just score some points. And he didn't get you a free throw.
That's not all we needed, Freezy. That's not all we needed, and that's you're too laser focused on Hartenstein because he didn't have a good game 7 in the last game of the year. I get it, but the totality of Hartenstein is deserving of a new contract from the Knicks.
Oh wait, so the totality of Hartenstein applies.
Yeah,
Hartenstein applies, but the totality of Starks didn't apply.
I,
And the
ne- I never said
conversation
I
we
never said that. I never said that. But they're two levels. They're two. Okay. John Starks pushed and shoved and worked and mesmerized and got himself to an all-star caliber player that the Knicks don't get to game 7 without him. Okay? His 2 for 18, I don't feel any less. There's no malice in my heart for him. Okay? I wasn't saying that's to be the last time he should ever wear this uniform after that. I remember that vividly. It was like, okay, suit him up next year. Why? Because if it wasn't for him, we don't get to that point. It's the same thing with Hartenstein. Hartenstein has one of the biggest rebounds in Knick history against Philly.
Yep.
Okay? Here's one of the more, and that was all hard. Did he have the greatest game against Embiid against Philly? No, Embiid averaged 35.
Embiid was lighting that man up, bro. If it wasn't for Mitchell Robinson.
But you could pick out moments. You could pick out moments in that series where you don't win without him.
The one rebound Hartenstein got was the biggest in Knicks history. Okay.
It's one of. In our playoff moment.
It's like Frank Ntilikina's steal off James Harden. Oh, it was the greatest steal in Knicks history. Frank, you had one play.
You are a hurt. You know what, Freezy? I get it. Because I've been around you long enough to know we've been here solidly 2 years.
Right.
I think July is going to be our second year anniversary, right?
Yeah.
I've been around you long enough to know when you hurt. Okay? To know when the wound is nowhere near closed. Yeah. And I know what you do. You're like that bear, you start lashing out at everything and everyone because you hurt. I get it. This is why I could not really be on the airways for the last several weeks. You know why? I put on a front. We wear the mask that, cries and laughs and all of that good stuff. Can't remember the author that came up with this right about now. But I get it. I'm hurt too. But here's the thing. You have to grow and move past that, Freezy, and not make maneuvers that's going to push you back even further from the elusive 51-year absence of a championship.
Right.
Hartenstein is a piece that can help us get there. Let's not forget that, Freezy. He's better than Mitch. He's better than any of the centers that are on the free agent market here this year. And if it's his time for him to get a little bit more, because this is when his free agency comes around and we can capitalize on it, close your eyes and get on board, my brother.
I would rather save that $17.5 million and Bogey's 19. Well, it'll actually be 17 if we cut him. Right? That 17 and that 34, 35 million. I would just rather go get DeMar DeRozan. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying I don't spite him. Like I don't want to like flick him into the sun. I'm saying if our centers are not going to be the modern NBA center, right? If they're not the modern NBA center, I don't want one. That's the point that I'm getting at. That's the thing I keep saying. I don't dislike Hartenstein. It's beige love, baby. All the light-skinned brothers stand up. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is if you don't have wrong
hand.
So yeah, but my point is if you don't have an Embiid, a Victor Wembanyama, a Jokic, if you don't have that type of guy or one that's gonna, if you don't have a Derek Lively type that's going to develop into that, if you don't have a Mark Williams type that's going to develop into that, right, then you are behind the eight ball. If you don't have a Porzingis, Al Horford type center that can stretch the floor, why are you paying that money? Why are you paying $35 million to the center position and all they're going to do is block shots and rebound? Or would I pay
No, that's Mitch.
$45 million to a Michael Cage type player?
No, that's Mitch. That's Mitch. And time out 1 second. Hinton, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, stop your nonsense. Okay, time back in. That's Mitch, Freezy. And that's Mitch who's always been hurt, Freezy. You see what I'm saying? The one thing you can count on with Mitch is that he's going to get hurt. The one thing you can count on with Hartenstein is that he's going to persevere. The man was on a damaged Achilles for most of this year, Freezy. At any moment in time, you could have had two centers. And I was talking to someone yesterday about this situation, right? And hear me out for 30 seconds. Mitch is hurt. Hartenstein is dragging, but he's putting up the soldier, right? When Dallas goes out at the trading deadline, and hear me out, I'm not killing management for this, but these are facts. When Dallas goes out and makes their trade for Gafford and the other big with OKC and so forth, the Knicks were in need of a big.
Of a center, yeah.
Of a center.
Yeah.
Dallas didn't get one, they got two.
Right.
While the Knicks didn't even know if they were going to play precious or not. It just so happened to be that, you know what? We got to play him. Let's just see what he is. Oh, okay. Nice surprise. When you are going for a championship, Freezy, and I'm using Dallas because this is exactly what Dallas did, because Dallas had offensive talent that could get them to a championship. You have to see the other pieces that you need and not think, well, maybe next off season I'll get one of those. Dallas went out and got two bigs. Two.
Right.
Right? The Knicks got OG. Great. Love it. The Knicks got Boyan. Great. Love it. Before they did those things, they were in need of a big. Okay? If you went out and signed Drummond against Indiana, with his savagery and his size, he literally would have put them in foul trouble, because why? They wouldn't have been able to keep him off the boards. Again, I'm not knocking management, but when you are going for a championship, Freezy, you have to it's got to be all on deck.
No, you don't, AD, because
you're not gonna win. Then you're not gonna win.
No, you don't, because you have Hartenstein, and Hartenstein solved it all.
He did
we
not.
had Hartenstein, bro.
He did not.
Solved it all, bro.
But he needed help. He needed help. We needed help.
He needed help for sure.
We needed help. Absolutely.
He gonna need help carrying that big paycheck he get ready to get from the Knicks. But
it's his time, Freezy. It's just his time.
But AD, what I was gonna say to you is, we knew that about Daniel Gafford. Me and Wiz on the Knicks Morning Drive was talking about the Knicks trading for Daniel Gafford and Denny Avdija at the All-Star break. We know that already. Wiz was even saying, go get Kuzma because Randall is out for the year. We knew this already. Okay. We knew this, right? We knew that the injuries, you didn't know when OG was coming back. You didn't know if. Remember, at the trade deadline, you didn't know if Mitchell Robinson was coming back or not, because remember, at the beginning of the season, they said he was out for the year.
For the year.
Right. That's what I'm telling you, bro. We knew this stuff already. So when you telling me this, I'm not being opposition to your opposing your point or your view. I agree with you. I totally agree. And for that reason, they put faith in Hartenstein, and he didn't show up in a game 7. They didn't trade for a center at the deadline. He didn't show up in that playoff series. And for us to say, oh, yeah, but that's Hartenstein, let's give him the bag. Bro, I can't co-sign that point because the Knicks didn't go out and get Gafford or another center because they had faith in Hartenstein. And in game 6 and in game 7 combined, he averaged 2 points a game in elimination games. And now we're talking about give Hartenstein the bag. Are we crazy?
It's his time, Freezy. It's his time. And you're basing your overall feeling off of 2 games, right? 2 games with minefield of bodies all around him. Minefield of bodies all around the team, Freezy. That's I can't knock you for your perspective, right? But in my view, it's short-sighting of the entire thing. Look at how he plays with Brunson. Look at the chemistry with Brunson. Do you want to
AD,
move that?
You're talking about intangibles.
Intangibles are important,
right? But what I'm talking to you about facts, things that actually occurred.
He doesn't have chemistry with Brunson. That didn't occur.
Intangibles are great.
Hold on, his chemistry with Brunson did not happen.
I guess it's about perspective. It's about perspective because here's the thing: if they had so much chemistry, how come Hartenstein didn't score in games 7 with Brunson on the floor? They had chemistry, right?
You're boiling it all the way down to one thing, and that's just not fair. It's really not.
But we talked about John Starks.
You did, yeah. But like I said before, I didn't kill John Starks going after that because of that. And there were two different types of levels of players, and the 2 different levels of game. One game is the finals. One game is the semi-conference. They're 2 different levels. One guy is an all-star. One guy is a nice project that we found that we were able to help develop and make him into something.
So you talking about Starks, right? The nice project that we found.
Both of them. I'm sorry, both of them. But Starks just went to an all-star level with his.
Right. And what I'm saying is the Knicks always find a backup center that plays good for a little while, and then we want to give Nerlens Noel 3 years, $30 million, and before you know it, he in street clothes. Right? We love to do this, bro. We kept Herb Williams
positive, Freezy.
Bro, let's
not harp on the Christmas gifts that management gave out 3 years ago. Let's be positive here today. We're not in the same position, Freezy. We're just not. This is not 3 years ago. I don't want to do that to management. I want to say that they've grown, okay? And I believe that they have their hand on the pulse, that they're not going to just, or if they were to lose OG, they're not going to just lose OG and then there won't be a strike. This is not 3 years ago, Freezy. Come on now, let's be fair. This is not 3 years ago.
AD, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like the stuff that happened. But I think you're not hearing what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I'm not blaming management, bro. I think they've done a fine job, and I think they will do a fine job this offseason, right? What I'm pointing out is one isolated incident from a guy, right? That when we needed him, when everybody else played up to another level, Hartenstein did not. Dante DiVincenzo averaged 20 points a game after the All-Star break. Josh Hart had 5 triple-doubles after the All-Star break, after all the injuries occurred. Jalen Brunson went from 24 points a game to 28 points a game after the All-Star break in the injuries, right? And Hartenstein got you 0 points in a game 7. And
look how you just did that. Look how you just did that. You talked about all of those guys' regular season accomplishments, right? Right. And then when you got to Hartenstein, you forgot about his regular season accomplishments. You forgot about his Philly accomplishment, and you rolled right to game 6 and 7.
No, I didn't. I went to that because Hartenstein's numbers after the All-Star break did not significantly change. They didn't go through the roof like Dante's numbers did. They didn't go through the roof like Jalen's numbers did. They didn't go through the roof like Hart's numbers did. They basically, if they increase because of playing time. They didn't increase based on performance. Right?
That's not
Like
true.
with more time on the floor, you grab more
That's not true.
rebounds.
That's
Yes,
not true.
bro. I'm
That's not
telling
true.
you,
Because he's in this. Because every you can't gauge everything based
I gotta,
upon.
I guess I gotta put the numbers on the screen. Is what you're saying?
You can go by game if you want to. Because I remember way too many of them are these great double games that he has. His defensive win share, I think he's like top, and I hate this with these analytics crap, but I think he's like top 5 in defense, or top 7 in defensive win shares for his position.
Oh my goodness, AD, come on, bro.
Come on, yes, come on now. Now you're going totally away from what your eyes saw. All the loose balls that he's able to keep alive, all the second chances that he's able to keep. Come on now, Freezy. All those things you saw them live for yourself. Come on now, Freezy. Come on.
Now,
You're gonna tell me the surprising part of this conversation that you're gonna tell me that you didn't see chemistry between Brunson and Hartenstein.
I never said that. That's not what I said. I said when you said that, I was like the intangibles, and I said intangibles are important. Right? Remember me saying that?
Yes.
When you said that, I'm the one that brought up the word intangibles.
But it matters, Freezy. It matters. Intangibles, they matter. If that's what you're gonna call chemistry, it matters.
It matters, bro. I'm not disputing that. And listen, and for those listening, I'm not being bitter, brother, about the front office. Not about the front office. What I'm saying is how do you reward a guy that disappeared in Game 7 and give him the bag? What type of precedent are you setting? Aren't the bags supposed to be earned? The bag's supposed to be earned, right? You're supposed to earn the bag, bro. Now we just giving out the bag. I mean, I don't understand it, man. The Hartenstein thing, I just would prefer to give that money to someone else. And these are Hartenstein's numbers, everybody. For those that think I'm ragging on Hartenstein for no reason, right? Look at these are Hartenstein's numbers, right? The numbers did not significantly increase in one's. The field goal percentage was up for sure, right? I'll give him credit. His field goal percentage went up by 69% from the floor is impressive, right? But look at the numbers. That man averaged 7.1 before the All-Star break and 9 after the All-Star break. That man averaged 8.7 rebounds before the All-Star break and averaged 7.7 rebounds after the All-Star break, bro. All right, that man averaged 2 assists before the All-Star break, 3.5 after the All-Star break. The blocks are the same, the fouls are the same, the turnovers are the same. This is what I'm saying, and I don't want to be the bitter numbers guy. I don't want to be that guy, man. But what I'm saying is if he just went from 7 and 9 rebounds to 9 and 8 rebounds, and you want to almost triple his salary, double 2.5 times his salary, nah, I can't. I would rather make the trade for a more dynamic player.
Yeah, but you may not. See what your numbers don't tell you is about continuity and chemistry. It doesn't tell you nothing like that. It doesn't tell you how he is at the top of the key with his pick and pop, with his pick and turn, okay, with his give and go, with his being able to see the corner three for that pass. None of those things are in that. And what you're asking for someone to do to come in is to learn that scheme, that system, what Brunson likes, and how that shooter's going to spot up. Okay, so you're going to start from like all over again. Continuity matters, Freezy. It does.
No, it don't.
Okay.
No, it don't, bro. I mean, can I have 30 seconds, Jana?
Take a minute.
Okay. Because here's the thing with the continuity thing that Knicks fans say, right? Oh man, we need continuity, right? Right? Continuity. OG Anunoby has been here for 0.5 seasons, half a season. Josh Hart has been here for 1.5 seasons. Dante DiVincenzo has been here for 1 season. Right? Now, here's the other part of that. RJ Barrett was here for 5 seasons. He's gone. Quickly was here 4 seasons, and he's gone. Grimes was here 3 seasons, and he's gone. And people are now telling me to keep the center that has been here 2 seasons and trade the center that is going to be here for 7 seasons. And we are talking about continuity and chemistry. And here's the other part. I'll take the other 30 seconds, right? The other 30 seconds. Dallas had centers on their roster that had been there for years, right? And they were frustrated about because and y'all brought up Dallas, so we'll bring up Dallas, right? Dallas had centers and they were frustrated with the center position for years with continuity, right? Then they draft them, they bring in a rookie, and then they make a trade for a center at the trade deadline, and they're in the NBA Finals, and y'all are telling me about some doggone continuity. Right? Kind of OG Anunoby has been here for half a season. Josh Hart, a season and a half. Dante, 1 season. Hartenstein, 2 seasons. Mitch said going on 7 seasons, we want to trade him. RJ, 5 seasons, we traded him. Quickly, 4 seasons, we traded him. Grimes, 3 seasons, we traded him. And yet we are talking about keeping guys together. Man, if we don't stop with these daily news, New York Times narratives, bro, we got to trust what our eyes are seeing. As Knicks fans, we too smart for this, bro. We legit moved out guys that had been here to bring in new guys, and we got better. And now we're saying that we can't afford to lose a guy to bring in, we can't afford to lose Hartenstein to bring in a Khalil Ware that's kind of like Derek Lively because we need continuity at the center position. And in Dallas, to get the example that y'all used, Dallas had a rookie center that helped them get to the finals, and they traded for a center that only played a half a season with them that helped get them to the finals. Right? And we're saying that continuity is king when you saw with your own eyes the Knicks front office said continuity is not the king. You need talent. That is the key. I'm sorry, AD. I went over my minute. My bad.
You went over your minute? Okay. You're not wrong with about change, Freezy, but it doesn't apply in every situation, Freezy. It applied for Dallas because in the beginning of the season, no one was really paying attention to Dallas like that. See, Dallas internally knew what they needed. Okay? Now, let's slide to the Knicks.
I don't understand what you mean about Dallas, though. I don't understand the Dallas point.
No one was watching Dallas. No one coming out of camp or going into the season last year. No one was talking about Dallas going to the finals. Ask Rep.
I mean, I don't understand how that applies. Is what I'm saying.
It applies as in they knew what they needed. They knew that they needed those bigs. They knew that they needed PJ Washington because why? They see their team day in, day out. They knew what they needed. Okay, the change applied to them for what they wanted to do. Their centers don't play like Hartenstein. If you're going to just particularly stay on that part right there, both their centers don't play like Hartenstein. Not involved in their offense like Hartenstein. They play a different type of center. Okay? With the Knicks had a chance to get those centers. We're not in on the. I'm not going to go in and say.
But we didn't get them, so it don't. Yeah.
But we didn't get them, right? But they had a chance to in theory, to trade and get those centers. You're basing, again, your entire point on a game 6 and a game 7. You're not seeing any of the total good that Hartenstein did for this Knicks team for the entire season. When called upon, playing also with a significant injury. Okay? You know the one thing that signing Hartenstein will do for you? He'll be there every game. He'll show up. Even through some of the worst types of injuries, he'll be there every game. I can't tell you not to feel how you feel, Freezy, because like I said, the wounds are still open. You're still hurt. You'll get over it.
We'll get over it. But what I'm saying, AD, like Nick P said, talent matter, but fits matter as well. And the point that I'm getting at is I think being afraid of a move is the thing that keeps the Knicks out of the championship conversation. See, because you know what happened last year? This time last year, Boston lost in the Eastern Conference Finals, right? And you know what they did? They actually swapped centers and they swapped point guards.
Yes,
they were not afraid to make the move.
Yes, they did.
But the Knicks fans are saying continuity.
Okay, Freezy. A KP is not on the market this year. Okay. Milwaukee's not desperate to bust up. And I'm not saying Milwaukee is right or wrong, but they were desperate. Right? We don't have a Greek freak this offseason making loud, bold threats of what he's going to do or not do and whatever. Okay? Boston capitalized on that. Again, this is a question for management. It's not for us to be like, okay, why didn't you sign Drew Holiday once Drew Holiday was available again? Exactly.
I think what they did was fine. I'm not blaming them for those moves. I'm specifically talking about the center position. I don't have a beef with any other stuff. I have a beef with the center position. I don't value. And this
would you have brought KP back here last year?
Yes. That was the point I made earlier. The point that I made earlier is
I'm not sure I would, but okay.
Right. The point that I made earlier is if you don't have a modern center, you're hustling backwards. And every time I try to make the point, for some reason it gets lost. Tom Thibodeau is not going to play his center like a modern NBA center, but we're going to pay a center modern NBA money. Tibbs is not going to let his centers shoot threes. He's not going to let his centers bring the ball up the floor.
No, but he lets his center handles the ball though. You can't deny that. Hartenstein handles the ball in the half court. He does. He does, Freezy. And I'm not trying to cut you, but you're missing that point. He's not Joker. He's not bringing up the ball. He's not doing that.
Y'all win. Sign them up. Give the motherfucker I don't give a shit. Right? And I'll be right here. And right. And I'm gonna be right here saying that if you don't modernize your team, if you're still living in the past, you're not gonna last. Tupac said it. If you living in the past, you're not gonna last. That you gotta be a modern team, bro. You got to have guys with the modern, and it don't matter what year you're in, you have to be modern and future forward. And I'm gonna use Dallas just because y'all brought Dallas up, right? Derek Lively is a athletic, high motor center with skills that are with a little handle, a little jump shot. He didn't get to show it this year, but as years go along, you're going to see him add elements to his game where he is going to be the future or part of the future of the NBA, the center position in the NBA. And we're saying that we want to keep a guy that may possibly be able to do it, but the coach won't let him, but we want to give him the bag. And what I'm saying is Dallas had guys like that, and I'm only using Dallas because y'all brought them up, right? They had dudes that couldn't do it. They knew it. They drafted an athletic center and paid that man $5 million, right? And that player that they drafted, right, and paid him $5 million was in the NBA Finals. And the guy that we have, we want to pay him 17 and a half, hoping that he can help us get past Boston. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that I dislike centers. I'm saying,
but your argument though, Freezy, is a Tibbs thing. Because what you said was Tibbs is not gonna play him off in the modern way. So it's not a Hartenstein thing, it's a Tibbs thing.
it's a both thing.
But Hartenstein is not inept offensively, Freezy. Yes, he hasn't reached out to the three, right? They haven't designed stuff and reach out to the three, but in the lane, in the middle of the lane, top of the key, it may be an ugly push half hook shot or whatever that you predominantly see.
That, but we love that shot, AD.
Yeah, but we love it because it goes in.
But again, the floor is not spaced. He's taking that shot in the paint. I listened to you. You said the shot, and it just shot right in front of the free throw line in the painted area, right?
But the argument is now different than Freezy. If you're saying to me, Freezy, all right, okay, all right, let me rephrase it a little bit. What if the Knicks say, all right, not only do we want Hartenstein back, but we want to do as you're thinking as well. We want to do as what the latest rumors are. We want to move Mitch, create some salary cap, and possibly find a big that can also shoot off the bench. Okay, I'm fine with that.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
No. Oh, so you're not even saying that at all. You don't want Hartenstein at all.
No, what I'm saying, y'all, you won't. I don't think you're listening to me.
Do you want Hartenstein back?
No.
Okay. All right. Now you can continue.
No, the point that I'm making is not that Hartenstein is a bad person or a bad player. The thing is he has a limited offensive skill set and a limited defensive skill set. Now, within those limits, is he great within those limits? Absolutely, he's great within those limits, right? He's absolutely a great player within his limitations, right? People on the word on the street we use for that is role player. Is he a great role player? Absolutely. What I'm saying is Tom Thibodeau is not going to allow his centers to shoot the three or long jump shots because he values offensive rebounding and defensive rebounding more than he values bigs shooting the three ball.
And I don't blame him.
But here's the thing.
I don't blame him.
I'm not AD again. Okay, go ahead, bro. You got it.
No. That's what I'm saying. I don't blame him because extra possessions mean something.
But okay. So I'm trying to get to the point. I'm trying to explain it to you how I'm feeling, right? The thing is, if you know Tom Thibodeau values that over a center that can shoot the three and is a weapon, then why pay a center with an offensive skill set that he will never use? It makes no sense. And if you know Tom Thibodeau only wants rim protection, defense, and rebounding, why not just go get three guys that you can pay for under $12 million and rotate those dudes at the center position, knowing that Tom Thibodeau is going to take one of them and develop them into the next Hartenstein? Because like how he did, because he developed Hartenstein into Hartenstein.
Yeah, but Hartenstein came with certain things.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He came with certain things, and the more we saw him,
no, he did not. That's not true. AD Hartenstein came with potential. He came here with potential, right? Because if he was doing those things in other places, he would have been an NBA starter already. He got here with potential. He showed flashes of things that he can do.
Okay,
and maybe do.
So he came with certain things. We're going in semantics here. We're going in semantics.
That's why but AD,
he came with certain things.
AD, this is why y'all don't understand my point, because every time I get into my point, y'all point out the point that y'all were making, which is still wrong.
But he came with certain things. Can we agree with that? Or whether it's potential, whether it's what he came with certain skill sets. He came with certain things that you could work with, that you could mold. And the more we saw it,
I don't care.
The more we saw it, was the more we.
Is $1 billion. I don't care.
I
don't care. I don't care at this point, man, because I be trying to make the point. Y'all won't even listen to the point. And it's not just you, it's on every show when I try to explain the thing. Y'all are like, y'all want to put y'all point out there, and I get it. Yeah, I get y'all have a point that y'all believe in, but it's wrong.
Freezy, right? I don't agree with you, Freezy. I don't agree with
you. I know you don't, because you don't remember that we had the same feelings about Nerlens Noel.
No, we did not.
Yes, we did.
No, we did not. No, we did not.
AD, yes, we did, man.
No, Nerlens Noel was a one-trick pony.
If I could just finish my point about Nerlens Noel just real
quick.
Go
ahead. Finish it, sir. Right.
Nerlens Noel, when Mitchell Robinson got hurt, the Knicks were 1 game over 500 in the 2021 season. Right? The Knicks were 1 game over 500 when Mitch got hurt against the Washington Wizards. Right? When Nerlens Noel was inserted into the lineup, the Knicks went on a scorching hot run in the last 20 games of that season. The Knicks went 16-4 down the stretch with Nerlens Noel as the starter. And we conveniently forget that. What I'm saying is these moments from time to time, we remember certain things and highlight them and forget other stuff. Nerlens Noel was the talk of the town after Mitch got hurt. So much so, we were talking about, man, maybe we should trade Mitch. And not only did we give Nerlens Noel the bag during that time, we were proud to have him. And then you know what happened after that? At that next season, Nerlens Noel was in street clothes 2/3 of the season. Right? In street clothes. And the very next season, we're like, man, I'm so glad we got Mitch. Mitch got hurt again. We had Taj Gibson out there. Right? There were times where Nerlens Noel and Taj Gibson was on the floor. Right? And we out here talking trash about Mitch. Right? And Mitch was the only one out of those that had an impactful stance when he was on the floor. You knew what Mitchell Robinson was. What's going to happen, bro? What's going to happen is if Hartenstein stays, he stays. But if Hartenstein leaves and we pick up a backup center from whoever the backup center is, whatever young, let's say it's Onyeka Okongwu, right? Like, say we get Onyeka Okongwu from Atlanta. Tom Thibodeau is going to put that man in the lab, and y'all are going to be talking about, man, yo, a double O, he our savior, but it's a blessing. No, he's not the blessing, bro. The fact that Tom Thibodeau can take young veterans and develop them into NBA starters is the blessing. And to say that Hartenstein is the only one that Tibbs can do that to is disingenuous and naive. Tom Thibodeau takes young veterans like Dante DiVincenzo, who had a breakout year, Isaiah Hartenstein, who had a breakout year, Josh Hart, who had a breakout year and a half with us, Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle. He takes young veterans and develops them into really good players. And to say that we cannot find another young veteran that Tibbs can develop, another veteran or two that Tom Thibodeau can develop, is disingenuous, right? It's to me, it's like being a drum major. Like, give Hartenstein the bag because Hartenstein should have been the number 1 pick and people slept on him. And now that the Knicks got him, he the next Pat Ewing.
Sir, well put. But on those notes, I have to rock. I didn't realize that we were all this long. I do got to rock, bro. But duly noted.
The Hartensteiners.
The Hartensteiners, absolutely.
Y'all sound like the Frank Hive.
The Hartensteiners. But anyway, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for joining Freezy and myself. We don't know where this journey started, but we know where it ended. It ended with you. Look for us in the whirlwind. Garvey,
you should give me a thing, man, because I was going to play the outro. There it is. Yeah. Look out your window. Knicks fans is on your block. Y'all know the Knicks run the city. Pull them shades back. Look out your window. Look down there on the block. That's Knicks fans right there. It's about that time. It's about that time of the week where you get ready for your work week with the man that is so smooth. He does not require a chaser. The main man, the real, still the real Anthony D. And your main man, Jersey's finest, the hood representative, Uncle Freezy.
Freezy, I got to bounce.